Are you ready for it?
Torture, pain, suffering, and you. It's go time, baby. Is that like a thrill seeker? Oh my God!
Halloween Horror Nights 33 is officially here and it's opening night, baby. Just like you, we've been waiting for this event 365 days, but tonight you're coming with us into the fog, so get ready and let's go.
We are not only bringing you along to show you everything that HHN has to offer this year, but we are also putting our express passes to the test on opening night, mapping out our entire strategy so you can steal it, and putting our hype list to the ultimate test. Where will our favorite houses fall? Gotta watch to find out. We are kicking off the night the way we always do every single year, in the back of the park, baby. Let's go, HHN 33. All right, it is 5:18. We are officially in our Stay and Scream location. First time ever, might I say, ever doing Stay and Scream. However, it seems like from what we know about Stay and Scream, they're doing things a little bit differently this year. Once you entered the park, you were split off into two areas. One, you have New York, and the other one is World Expo for Stay and Scream, which enters through Lombards and goes all the way down through London. Now, I'm not exactly sure which houses will be let out in this area or the New York area. It seems like the houses are opening up at different times, so maybe nobody's really lining up for anything in specific at this point. However, that is not a problem for us today because we have an entirely different game plan tonight.
So we're kicking things off by going to San Francisco and doing major suites, then taking a little break, doing Nightmare Fuel, and after that we are going clockwise to tackle every house and scare zone we can.
Now, the real question is, will we get everything done? Because from what we've heard, it seems like HHN opening night is sold out tonight. I'm not 100% sure if this is true, but we did hear that about 55,000 people are making their way to HHN opening night, so we have Express Pass. Let's see if we can get it all done in one night. All right, it wasn't even an hour in the Stay and Scream location. They've already started to let us out. The park gates have not even opened at this time. However, we are already inside the park and we can either start getting ready in line for houses or maybe check out the Death Eaters in this location. So we're gonna go into Diagon Alley and see some Death Eaters.
Oh man, this place is empty. Stay and Scream, folks, is worth the wait. Do it, and then you get this, baby. Let's wait for those Death Eaters. That was a badass experience. I would say it would probably look a little bit better at night, but the fact that it was empty in there was amazing. Now we're heading to major suites to knock out the first house, but first we're going to cut through Blumhouse and see what it's all about.
Scare zones in the daytime always give a very different feel than they do at night. However, Blumhouse, from what it is in the daytime, was pretty good. I can't wait to see what it looks like at night when it's all lit up in that Blumhouse original blue.
It looks amazing.
It does. The grabber,
The grabber's my
zaddy.
favorite. All right, relax. And my second favorite was Megan. And the Perch characters also look pretty badass.
So this Scare Zone, like we've mentioned in the past, is a collection of different Blumhouse movies. If you're a Blumhouse fan, this is going to be your Scare Zone movie. Hell yeah.
This is it, the first house of the night, Major Sweets Candy Factory. Right now it's at a 45-minute wait. The park just opened. It's still daylight out. I'm sure it's going to get a little more crowded in a bit, but we're about to test it out against our express passes. Now in this house, we are going to be chaperoning a field trip to the candy factory where they will turn into sugar fiend killers. This sounds pretty exciting. Now let's go and test out those express passes. Turn on your timers. Let's do it, baby. Guess how fast we just went through that house. 1 minute and 49 seconds. We zoomed past it and the wait was 45 minutes. So far, so good. Now, as far as this house goes, it was number 5 on my hype list.
And number 6 on mine. And
I would say, so it was very creative. I liked the story. There's a lot of torture. It was pretty freaky.
Yeah, it was campy, but it was not as campy as I thought it was gonna be.
Right. Yeah. So
it definitely got me in some areas there.
I will say though, because I mean we still have a lot of houses to go. This is our first one, but right off the bat, I would actually drop this down the list.
You would?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna stay number 6 for me right now as well, just because there is so many more things to get through. I think no matter what, Major Suites is gonna fall in the middle to lower tier. It was a good house, not as campy as I thought it was gonna be, but still on the campier side. I want the horror, baby. All right, now we debated this for a lifetime, but since we are making our way in a clockwise direction for this first half of the park, what a better time than to check out Nightmare Fuel, the first one of the official HHN season. Let's go get in line right now and check out the Nocturnal Circus.
We're officially entering the Nightmare Fuel Show queue. They did it a little bit different this time, where we actually get into a line before we get into the pen. I guess they're trying to make it more organized because the event is so packed. However, this show is phenomenal and we always recommend it to anybody, especially first timers. It is action-packed with live music, sexy dancers, pyrotechnics fired. It's everything packed in one, and it is one hell of an experience.
Now, Nightmare Fuel there's no express pass for Nightmare Fuel, so if you want to get a good seat at this show, because it is such a fan favorite, you really want to get here early. All right, we are in the pen. We are ready to go. We got some time to go. It's 7:18. Show starts at 8:30, but it is getting jam-packed in here.
You can feel the energy, you can sense it, everybody's ready, everybody's excited. But if you're claustrophobic, then you just gotta be careful where you sit. Now, if you watched our Rookies Mistakes video, then you would know that this is the perfect time to make sure you have deodorant and a pack of gum on you. Because we are cramped and sweaty, and I mean, I have deodorant, but I don't even know if I smell. So you gotta make sure you take care of yourself before you walk in here.
What a circus.
It really was a circus. I typically actually love when it is circus theming.
Yeah.
Anything, whether it's
So
houses or, yeah, I
okay,
really
because you
love
started
it.
like, you
No.
say, like, I typically love, I was waiting for the butt.
But I really loved what they did here. The performances were amazing.
Yes.
The setup, the lighting.
I was like, how is it going to be? I mean, the performers are just, they're so talented. If you're coming to HHN, you need to check out.
Do not skip the show.
Do not skip the show. Do what we did, and we just knocked it out. First show, that way now we have the rest of the houses to do.
Right.
But now it is time to start knocking back houses, baby, in the Springfield World Expo area. Now, right after Nightmare Fuel, the next two houses coming up are Goblin's Feast and Monsters Eternal Bloodline. And these two are actually in the same queue as you walk in. So, Joaq, what are we doing? I think we're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors this, because I know you probably want Monsters, but that's probably my second to last anticipated. But Goblins is also my last anticipated. Oh boy. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors it.
Shoot.
Wait, we don't know which one is Goblins or. Okay, you're Monsters,
you're
I'm Goblins.
Ready?
Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So, Goblins it is.
Oh boy.
Let's go do some Goblins Feast, baby.
The wait time is 60 minutes, and we're gonna test that out with our express passes. For this one, we will enter Goblin's Feast Tavern, where we will join orcs, goblins, witches, hobgoblins, except we're the main course. Put on your timers, because we're about to go.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, Goblin's Feast is my dead last house in my hype list. So I have no expectations for this house, which might be a good thing, because usually the houses that I have the least expectations for tend to be very high on my list. So we'll see what happens in Goblin's Feast. All right, we just did
Goblin's Feast. As far as timing goes, it was at 60 minutes, but with express, and it was at 21 minutes and 30
That's
seconds.
almost half.
That's less than half.
That's less than
So
half.
That was actually incredible. Yeah, it felt like it was forever. I thought it was a long time, but
It did. I was like, this is going to be the longest express line.
Yeah.
But we are in peak hours right now,
Right.
9:30. Even if you have express, you're still going to experience some longer wait times during peak hours. It just happens. The park is packed. However, Goblins, where does that land on you?
So it was number 9 for me, and Major Suites was at number 5. So I'm actually gonna switch those, and Goblins bumped up because
To number
I really liked it.
Really?
The set design mainly more than anything, and I feel like I got a lot of good scares in that
Okay,
run.
so Major Suites is now number 9, and
now Major Suites is number 9, Goblins is number 5, and I was impressed with it. I had low expectations.
So I don't know what Joaq you got maybe all the scares, but for me, Goblin's Feast was dead last. I would probably just bump it up to number 9 just because the
From
set
number 10 to number
design
9.
was beautiful.
Okay.
The set design was beautiful. Now, something really cool that HHN is doing this year is that instead of having to exit one house and walk all the way back to the front of the queue where you started, we have kind of like a little bit of a roundabout situation going on here. You've got like a drink stand, you've got bathrooms, you're meeting in the middle and going straight into the other house, which is Monsters Eternal Bloodlines, which is the house that we are going into next. And Monsters Eternal Bloodlines is basically a house that is all about these awesome female monsters battling it out. We've got Dracula's daughter, we've got Bride of Frankenstein, Saskia Van Helsing. Let's see what this is all about. All right, and Monsters is currently at a 60-minute wait without Express. However, we just entered the Express queue. Ready, set, let's go, baby. Let's see how long this one takes. Ooh, all I have are W's for this house.
That house was a huge win. And it's funny, they're right next to each other, Goblins and Monsters, and they're switching on my hype list because Monsters was incredible. The set design, the costume design, the
scare actors,
the creativity
yes.
on some of these jump scares that I was like, whoa, I did not see that coming. I really, really liked it. It bumped up on my list. I would probably say number 4 now.
I'm gonna agree with Joaq because the minute that you enter this house, first of all, there is snow. There's snow coming down on you as you enter this house. Now, the thing is, for me, Monsters is I never anticipate Monsters. Monsters was one of my last on my hype list for a reason. I never have a good time at Monsters houses. This is a house that I think we're gonna do, I don't even know how many times because of how much I loved
over and over again. Yeah.
And not just that, but it was a 60-minute wait that turned out to be 9 minutes.
9 minutes. 8 minutes and 54 seconds.
To be exact.
Yeah.
That is insanity.
So,
it is opening day.
Pretty much. I mean, we've been told twice already that the event is sold out and there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people here.
That is insanity. Joaq, did you already say where this landed on your hype list?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, where it landed on mine, my official landing, this was at a number 9. I'm gonna have to switch this up with Major Suites. So as of right now, Major Suites goes down to number 9 and Monsters goes up to Major Suites position. But honestly, that's only because we still have a lot of houses to do. I'm very curious how this one's gonna end up at the end of the night for me.
Next up, we have a mega fan favorite, and we've heard nothing but good things about this house, and it is Slaughter Cinema 2. This was actually number 2 on my hype list, and I'm really looking forward to it. Wait time right now is at 75 minutes. Not terrible, but it is getting bad. But we're hoping that with Express, we can at least cut that time down half. Now, as far as the story for Slaughter Cinema 2, it is another horror movie marathon that we will start at Cary Drive-In and going through a whole bunch of movies like the first Slaughter Cinema a few years back. They have some pretty interesting movies that I've seen on the list being featured in this house. So you've got Mardi Gras Murders, Heavy Metal Hell in 3D. I'm actually looking forward to that one the most. Killer Kringles, Night of the Undead Clowns, Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunters, Blood and Chum, Mummy Strippers Unwrapped, and Cyborgs. I am so excited for this one. Are you ready? 75 minutes. Let's set our timer and let's go, baby. I have lots of thoughts.
Please, do tell us.
First of all, it stayed on my number 2. That did not move from my hype list. I'm only putting it at number 2 because I don't know what Insidious is like, and I still am hearing everywhere that Insidious is the best house at this event.
Yeah.
But the rooms were amazing. My favorite room was actually, one of my favorites was the Blood and Chum, where they had something there. I don't want to spoil it. Amazing room.
Oh.
I think they went. The thing is, I have a fear. I have a special fear.
So Joaq has a special fear, but it's a little difficult to talk about it when, and spoil it for you, which we don't want to. It's really, really good because it's not one of those things that you'll miss, like a scare that you'll miss. Yeah. You'll see it.
Yeah,
you will see it.
You'll see it.
Okay, so it stays at number 2 for you.
Stays at number 2.
I love that it was different movies. Again, we never saw the first Slaughter Cinema.
Right,
so
we never experienced it.
Yeah, we were living in DC, so the fact that we were able to experience this one, it was so good. It was like every room is a different movie and it keeps your attention just like your attention is on you're on your toes.
It was really
through
good.
every single room. There's everything from super creepy to campy.
Yeah.
It is a good
And a lot of holidays too.
Slaughter Cinema 2 was my number 4. I'm gonna put it up to number 3 right now. I'm gonna put it at number 3. It was a really good house. And the only reason, Joaq, same as with you, that Insidious, we just keep hearing it is such a good house. I can't wait to get to Insidious.
Yeah, me neither.
So, and obviously A Quiet Place is my most hyped, so I'm really excited for that one. But
Did we already talk about the wait time? So basically we had a 75-minute wait time, right, for regular standby line. And we reached the front of the house at 18 minutes and 40 seconds. So it was a little bit on the longer end, but it's still technically less than half of the wait time. Once again, we are just proving to you that express passes do
a
work.
win.
Invest in express passes, especially on high volume nights like
Yes.
Fridays and Saturdays, opening night, Halloween. Well, Halloween,
I
that's
don't
a whole
know.
different
More-
conversation.
Yeah, Halloween's a different conversation.
Basically, high volume nights, trust us, they will help you a lot.
All right, on to our next house. That it is 11 o'clock at night, and it is still really hot. Like we've mentioned in our last videos, between the lights, the fog, and everybody around you, it is just, it's one of those nights. So, hydration backpack, it is a lifesaver. Now you can't not bring it in full, but once you are inside the park, you can fill it up and you're hands-free, ready to go. I am just like walking and talking with this thing. We are now moving on to house number 5, which is the final house in this section of the park, the World Expo Springfield section of the park. And this house is Museum Deadly Exhibits. Now, the description for this house is you decide to visit a new folklore museum exhibit, The Rotting Stone, when an evil escapes from within, destroying everything in its path. We really don't know much about this house. We haven't heard much about this house. I'm really excited. This was kind of one that just fell somewhere on the hype list, but didn't know what to really make of it. So it is at a 45-minute wait right now, and we are getting so lucky with these express passes that I think we're probably gonna get this at, who knows, probably a 5-7 minute wait. Let's cross our fingers. Are you ready? Let's get over there and set that timer. That line, if it's not express, looks hella long, but as you can see, we are moving through express pretty quickly.
This house is dead last for me on the hype list, but I would say mainly because I don't know much about it. The idea of a relic that releases an evil within doesn't really appeal to me, but I don't know, maybe this one can totally change. So it's more about the unknown for me, and that is why it's last on the list.
Okay, we are gonna do Museum Deadly Exhibits on the go because we are on the go.
Yeah. TLDR, it remains last. Excuse me, last
Really?
on the list.
Yeah.
I think that the main reason for me, at least, is because we had a bad run. We missed a lot of scares.
We did miss a lot of scares in this
So,
house, yes.
The design was pretty nice. I really like how you can feel the stone rotting throughout the house. And there was a lot of lighting effects in it that were really cool that I haven't seen in a while in some other houses. But it still just didn't do it for me. I think mainly because we missed this.
I'm gonna say that this is probably going to go into my number 8 slot,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's definitely the bottom half.
Yeah. However, I will say that express pass really saved us some time
really did.
because it was at a 45-minute wait. And Joaq, what was the final time on that?
8 minutes and
4
seconds.
seconds. Wow. It is 11:30 at night. We are 5 houses deep into the event. We have just completed the first rotation clockwise of this park, and now we're going to get some street scares in for some scare zones and head to the other side of the park to finish out the other 5 houses. I'm starting to get a little worried. It is 11:30. I don't know if we're gonna make it, but let's go. We gotta figure it out and we gotta try it. All right, it's that point in the night where I have officially lost Joaq. Just kidding. He probably went to go get food, and I went to the bathroom, and we'll find each other in a minute. However, entering the HHN Bar, this is something new, and it's basically a bar in Battery Park. Battery Park has always had something going on related to food, drinks, etc., but this bar has characters from original fan favorites propped up on some pedestals where you can actually take photos, interact with them. It's a very neat experience. experience. Definitely something that I could see coming back year after year, maybe with different characters, different fan favorites, and I think that's what Universal is going for. So I would definitely say for opening night, it seems pretty successful. We'll see how it plays out throughout the rest of the season.
You will never be able to escape. That's
Let me inside your fragile mind.
Let me inside your fragile mind.
We are traveling through the Hollywood section of the park where we are in Demon Queens. And seeing it come to life is so badass and amazing. I absolutely love it. You can see the queens. We saw Surreal walking around a little bit. She gave a speech at the beginning. And honestly, this is a lot better than I thought. It stretches out pretty long. If you see the centerpiece here, right at the center, there's a little stage. Woo! A lot going on in the Scarezone tonight. But it's really, really, I really like it. The colors, the fog, Surreal walking around, the platform in the middle, the platforms everywhere, even the costume designs, they're really, really, really good. I think they did a really good job here.
I'm gonna give it its props because this Scarezone is a hell of a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. All right, now let's move on to some houses in the New York section. Let's go. We are entering Duality of Fear, and this is where Sinister and Surreal force you to choose a path. We just saw Surreal's Scarezone Demon Queens, and that did not disappoint. We're gonna keep going down New York, get into some houses, and see what Sinister has in store in Torture Faire. But first, let's hit up Monstros of Latin America, and I am stoked for this house. It is midnight, still sweating profusely, but we're about to go into Monsters of Latin America. It is a 60-minute wait. Get ready to set those timers. This house is a fan favorite in Hollywood. It's finally coming to Orlando. Well, it's here. It's finally here in Orlando. This is my second most anticipated, so I can't wait to see what this is. Let's go, baby.
So as Pal mentioned earlier, this was a big one last year in Hollywood. It even won House of the Year. So I'm really looking forward to see how they set it up in this one. But the story is also badass. You've got La Muerte guiding us through the house. Then you've got Duele Peluche, you've got El Silbón, and you've got La Lechuza. And all of them are creepy as hell. So I'm really excited for this house. And it is actually my number 2.
All right, Monstros of Latin America. That was a almost 10-minute wait, 9 minutes and change. That house, oh my gosh, definitely still my top 2. It's not moving. If anything, depending how the rest of the night continues, that might be my top house. That was insane.
It was an incredible house, and honestly, I don't know if I like this one or Slaughter Cinema 2. The second thing about this house is this was the only house so far that I got a real jump scare where I actually screamed my lungs out. This hasn't happened all night. I mean, I had little jump scares here and there, but this one I screamed my lungs out. There's one part where El Silbón came out. I really, really, really like this house. So far, I would put it at number 2 tied, but we'll see after we do the other that are remaining. Now, as far as the time,
it is 12:30, baby. We got it. We got about 4 houses still to go where we get them in. It's about to hit power hour, so if you don't know what power hour is, check out our last video, but we're about to hit power hour.
It's the pain you feel. That's what we're after here at the Torture Faire. Torture, pain, suffering.
Torture Faire. Pretty good. I mean, I wasn't expecting this. It kind of gives me Vamp 69 feels, but in a Renaissance fair. I thought this was gonna be full on campy. It is not. It is gory. It's good. It's a good walkthrough. All right, let's move on to the final houses of the night. We've got Triplets of Terror, Insidious, A Quiet Place, and Ghostbusters. If we can hack it, if we can make it, because it is 12:35.
I can't get it off.
we are going to go to Barmy's birthday bash where we have been invited for Triplets of Terror. Right now it is at a 20-minute wait, so this will definitely fly by really fast. Also something to note, it is 12:38. And this is something we always advocate for, is stay as late as you can, because you will reach power hour and the crowds are gonna start dying down. It is opening day given. It's a little packed, but this is what the typical lines will look like. 20 minutes. We're about to start the timer. See how fast we can go through with Express. Ready? Let's go, baby.
Now, we have heard that this house is a sleeper, meaning that it may not be high on your list. However, it will become high on your list from what we've heard. Let's see if everybody's right or if they're wrong. Triplets of Terror. Wow.
Okay, yeah, that one definitely, when you Google a sleeper, that was a sleeper house.
That was a sleeper. Yeah. We got some really good scares in that.
We had a really good run to start off.
And it was a 9-minute wait with Express. Got to throw that in there. 9-minute wait with Express. And when it was a 20-minute wait without Express.
Right.
Now, this house is kind of like it is gory. It is gory. It is definitely like serial killer vibes, really dark. Definitely moved up on my list. Yeah. I had it originally at number 6. Right now I'm putting it at 4, I would say.
I was gonna say 3 or 4, but it definitely moved up really high. It really is a good house.
We're gonna have to reconvene at the end of the night and really see where these houses fall. All right, next up, this house needs no introduction. We are doing Insidious, baby. This house, every single person that we have spoken to today has been like, you gotta do Insidious. This is the scariest house of the entire event. It is at a 65-minute wait right now. So we're gonna go in, let's see what we do with Express.
So if you haven't already noticed, we are seeing it everywhere all over the park. Sinister and Surreal, their emblems, their colors, it's everywhere. And I'm really enjoying it.
Now, when we check back on this footage, I don't know if you're gonna notice that we are just literally yelling pretty much the entire time. 1, it is very hot. 2, it is very loud. And 3, we have about an hour left in this park and we still gotta get like 3 more houses in. So we're just like, but we're having a hell of a good time. And absolutely, even like the amount of stuff that we've been able to do with Express on opening night, it's a good one. Wow. Right off the bat, stayed at number 1. We'll stay at number 1 for the rest of this event. This was intense from beginning to end. The only complaint was there were some people behind me that were really annoying, but other than that, it was a good. They were young. They were young.
Tell me, hey, chill out a little.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good.
That house.
That was good.
I mean, scary is like very subjective because I feel like we're very we don't get scared very easily, but it was scary.
It was dark.
It was dark.
It was sinister.
Yes.
Even the design of just how it kept getting darker and like more, I don't know, demonic. Like, it was just amazing.
It was such a well-executed house. I love it. This was my number 3, I think. This just shot up straight up to number 1. We've got 2 more houses to cover. It's 1:13 p.m. Will we make it?
I think so.
Oh, wait. But the wait time. So it was a 60-minute wait. Right. We got in
8 minutes
and 34 seconds.
Once again,
Express pass for the freaking win. All right, now let's stop talking shit. Actually, get the rest of the houses done.
So, what's going on? You look kind of down.
I'm not down. I'm literally just thinking about that house because it's still running in my mind. It's a nightmare. It really was a nightmare. Like, I think I'm actually gonna have nightmares with some of the characters in that house. I just, wow. Yeah. Well, like, if we don't get any more houses done tonight, I'm good. Like, that house was good. I loved it. Great run. The actors in that house, y'all knocked it out of the park. It was so good.
The design on the characters, Keyface was incredible. The Bride in Black was also amazing, and the red face demon was my absolute favorite. It was just everything. Everything about that house was 10 out of 10. So this is another reminder. This was a sold out event. We've got thousands of people here, but it is 1:15, and look at those wait times, how they dropped because people are leaving the park.
This was a 60-minute wait, literally 10 minutes ago. Power hour, baby.
In this house, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Believe it or not, this one is becoming apparently a fan favorite. A lot of people are saying that this was also sort of a sleeper for them. But in this house, we are going face to face with the Phantom God. got Guaraca. And right now it's a 45-minute wait. We're gonna see where Express is at, 1:17 in the morning. Ready? Let's see how it works.
All right, Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters wasn't bad. It was actually one of my bottom half for me at first. And I would say now it's top 5.
Really?
Yeah, I think they did really well with the performers and the stilts. With the character of Guaraca, I think the design was really well made. And I think that, like, especially going through some of the rooms, you actually felt like you were like in an Ice Age style, like just like the movie. So I mean, that's the reason. As far as scares, like I don't think it was that good, but overall, like not as bad as I thought.
It plays very true to that Ghostbustery feeling.
Yeah.
It's very campy. It's not a scary house.
No,
It definitely has some like sensory elements, which I will say a lot of these houses this year have a lot of sensory elements. What I mean by that is like snow falling, rain, things that you can just like feel on your skin. It was not a terrible house. Definitely not my top. I would probably put it at like probably like at 7 for me.
Really?
Yeah. I knew it wasn't gonna be like my top at all ever. That is what it is, you know? All right, before we walk into this house, you can tell it's late, baby, because I am losing my mind. We forgot to tell you about how long that time with Express was for Ghostbusters, which was a total of 6 minutes and 3 seconds. That's a win. Anyway, we are now at A Quiet Place, last house of the night. Literally, because it is 1:35, we are closing out the park with one of my top favorite movies. I am so curious about how this house is really gonna play out, because if you've never seen A Quiet Place, you can't make a sound. How do you not make a sound? I don't know what I'm gonna do. What if I have to scream? 65-minute wait. Let's see what Express gives us.
I really think this is going to be a good house, especially just as Paul mentioned, the fact that the whole movie itself is quiet. We don't know what to expect here. I know that they're also incorporating American Sign Language here, so that's really neat with the scare actors. There's a lot going on here, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Pretty good. It is 2:02 in the morning, baby. And we have completed, the park is closed, basically, like for all intents and purposes. I mean, if you're still in the house, you're gonna get to go through the house, but you can't get into the houses anymore. And we have finished all 10 houses.
And we did all 5 scare zones.
All scare zones.
And we did the show.
And we saw the Death Eaters.
Right. The only thing we technically didn't do, but we had already seen it, was the tribute store. And we didn't really get to enjoy the food.
I'm starving, and we're going to McDonald's right after this.
But
Let's
anyway.
talk. Where do these houses fall on your list, Joaq?
Final
on my
rank.
list. Final rank.
I will say that there are a lot that I feel like will change and keep moving up and down as the season progresses.
Oh, absolutely.
But so, we'll see where it stands. The funny thing is that my first place and my last place have not changed. So I still have Insidious as first place and Deadly Exhibit as my last place. Unfortunately, Deadly Exhibit just didn't do it for me tonight. We didn't get enough good scares. We had a bad run. So Monstruos, the Monsters of Latin America, and Slaughter Cinema 2, I would say are tied in second place, but I put Slaughter Cinema as third because for some reason it's a great house, but I just loved Monstruos. And since Monstruos is the only house tonight that actually made me scream like a little girl, and because of that, it earns its second spot in my ranking. And then we've got the one that is a sleeper for me that did really well tonight was Triplets of Terror. That one, from the moment we stepped foot into the set, into the, what was it? Was it a tent, a soundstage? I already forgot, it's late. But with the police car, that's the only spoiler I give. We've got the police car and basically setting up the scene, and it's just like...
Feels like you're stepping into a crime scene. Right away. It's such a gory, dark house. Definitely, it's also very high on my rankings.
That was a sleeper tonight, and that is one that I recommend that you should definitely check out. Ghostbusters was better than I thought, so I had it on number 8.
Nah.
Well, for me, it did. So I had it on number 8, and it moved up to number 6. I mean, only 2 spots, but it was better than I thought. And then the other one that was a surprise for me is I had Major Sweets really high up on the rankings. I had Major Sweets at number 5 in the beginning. Well, not that high, but that one got knocked down all the way to number 9. I just wouldn't put it in my top 5 or 6 at least.
My top and my bottom did switch. I started with A Quiet Place as my most anticipated, and it ended with Insidious as my number 1. Joaq, looks like you were right all along. And you were right all along because everybody kept telling me Insidious was good.
Everybody kept saying it. And everybody we would run to tonight.
I'm calling it right now. Insidious is going to be the longest wait time throughout the entire season.
100%.
All right, making it down the list, Monstruos of Latin America, number 2, Triplets of Terror. Joaq just already said everything about it. It is gory, it is dark, it is a sleeper for sure. Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. Listen, the fact that Monsters Eternal Bloodlines is that high on my list when it's always dead last is a huge jump for me.
Yeah.
Surprise for me, my most anticipated A Quiet Place actually ended up tonight at number 6.
What?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it was a good house, but I just think that there were some other ones that were so much stronger that I wasn't anticipating to be as strong. I love the storyline. I love that they incorporated ASL into it. I love how they did it. The intro to it was crazy. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it was a good intro to the house. But for me personally, there were just some that were a little bit stronger than that. And then my bottom ranks go to Ghostbusters at number 7, Major Sweets number 8, Museum Deadly Exhibit number 9, and Goblin's Feast number 10.
In that house, you actually didn't get all the scares.
I missed every single scare in Goblin's Feast. So I'm going to have to do it again, and we're going to have to see how that ends up in our September rankings,
I feel like
middle of September rankings.
We'll have different rankings. I guarantee.
Let's talk very quickly about
Express
passes because
listen, I think we've proved it throughout the night that every house was less than half of the wait time. It was some of them Major Sweets. I was in shock that it was at a 45-minute wait,
and we got in 1 minute.
That was insane. But all of these houses, I don't think we reached 30 minutes in any house.
We didn't. It is opening night, and we did not do a single 30-minute wait line. Overall, Joaq, HHN 33 opening night, what do you think of the event?
Better than I thought. At first, I was a little bit, not disappointed, but I wasn't as hyped as I was, let's say, last year, the year before that. But after running through everything, I mean, it's also 2 in the morning. Maybe it's just like I've got like 2 brain cells left. But overall, the event, like if I had to rank it, definitely I would say not a 10 out of 10, but like an 8 out of 10, definitely higher up. I really had a great time.
I think for an opening night, I had an amazing night.
Yeah.
This event is just going to keep getting better and better throughout the season. Opening night, slam dunk for us, in our opinion. And I can't wait to see what the rest of the season has in store.
Absolutely.
And I do want to say thank you to everybody who came up to us tonight.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
it was a pleasure meeting so many people.
It was such a pleasure meeting so many of you.
Something quickly that I also wanted to mention was that HHN opening night is synonymous with a rainy, stormy day. And funny enough, we joke around because we did if you follow us on Instagram, we did a reel about a rain dance saying that it wasn't going to rain HHN opening day, and it did not rain HHN opening day. So, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
But also, that's pretty funny.
I mean, maybe one of us, I joked about this on Instagram, but maybe one of us is a witch, and we just nobody told us at the age of 18 that we have special powers, that we were wishes.
Witches.
Wishes.
I'm too tired.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. All right, if you're new here, just know this. We are all about the haunts and thrills, baby, and we have so much more coming in HHN this fog season.
That's right, and we will be here every single, I would say 90% of the nights. We have other things that we got going on that we are going to bring to you as well.
Yes.
Haunts-wise.
Haunts, thrills, stay tuned for that. Subscribe, like, and we'll catch you on the other side.
On the other side of the fog, remember that. And stay spooky, boys.
Let's go get some food.